A man took a photo of his wife, and to his surprise, the wife, who was originally wearing revealing clothes, appeared in the photo wearing a mink coat instead. At first, the couple thought there was something wrong with the camera, that is, until the wife rummaged through an antique chest, pulled out a coat, ran to the window and struck a pose. Wasn't this exactly what she looked like in the photo? Mike was so shocked he could barely speak. They decided to try again. This time, the wife stood in front of the front door for a photo. When the picture came out, a young man was pushing the door open in the shot. It was Mary's brother. But her brother couldn't possibly be here right now because he had just been sentenced to 7 years in prison. Mike suspected there was something unusual about this antique camera. Just then, the doorknob suddenly moved, and in walked Mary's brother. He explained that he had successfully escaped from prison tonight and came to his sister for refuge. The couple was stunned, speechless, and the pose of the brother opening the door was exactly the same as in the photo. After some discussion, Mike suggested that this camera could capture scenes 5 minutes into the future, and maybe they could use it to do something big. As the couple was envisioning the future, the brother turned on the TV, and a horse race was playing on the screen. Mike stood up excitedly. Since the camera could capture future scenes, if the three of them went to the racetrack, wouldn't they be able to know the race results in advance? So they pooled a few $100, ready to try their luck at the track right away. The three arrived at the racetrack and precisely timed a photo of the scoreboard. When the photo printed out, the result was clearly visible. Horse number 6 won. Mike immediately went to place a bet. When the race started, horse number 6 was in the middle of the pack. However, as it neared the finish line, it suddenly accelerated and crossed the finish line first. The trio couldn't stop grinning. They checked the scoreboard again. The result was exactly the same as shown in the photo. Once successful, they wanted to continue. With ample funds in hand, they only needed to take a photo before each race, and it seemed there was no possibility of failure. So they kept betting round after round. Every judgment was accurate, and they counted money until their hands cramped. Back at the motel, Mike immediately ordered a sports car. With this camera, they had finally broken free from their predicament at the bottom of society. At this point, the motel attendant came to collect the plates and curiously picked up the camera from the table to fiddle with it. Mike hurriedly reminded him to be careful not to break the camera. The attendant retorted, "What does it mean that this camera won't work after taking 10 photos?"
10 à la propriétaire. That means 10 to an owner.
Mike's heart sank. He quickly sent the attendant away. The trio started counting the number of photos. They had test shot 2 in the room and taken 6 at the racetrack today, which meant they only had 2 chances left. Mike decided to do one more big deal tomorrow, while the wife wanted to save it for future use. The brother suggested simply selling the camera for some cash to go eat KFC. The three started arguing and fighting over the camera, accidentally pressing the shutter and wasting another photo. Mike was furious. When the photo appeared, he saw his wife seemingly screaming.
Why do you think she's screaming, Woodward? I'll tell you why she's screaming. She's screaming because somebody's trying to do something to her husband.
He abruptly pulled out a knife. Since the camera foreshadowed an ominous omen, he decided to strike first. He pushed his wife away and stalked toward the brothers step by step. The two gradually retreated to the window and soon engaged in an intense fight. The wife also arrived at the position in the photo. In the scuffle, the two men fell out the window one after another. At the same time, Mary struck the pose from the photo. Having lost her husband and brother, Mary was in extreme agony.
However, we must muddle through these things. We must live with tragedy.
She picked up the camera again and went to the window.
Simply for posterity. May you both rest in peace.
Mary was about to take the money and leave. Suddenly, the attendant from earlier barged in. He had been eavesdropping on their conversation. The attendant grabbed the cash on the table and quickly stuffed it into his bag. Mary tried to call for help, but the attendant said, "Oh, pardon, your brother is a fugitive, right? I thought when the police come, you'll be the first one arrested." He swept away all their spoils and didn't forget to snatch the bag from Mary's hand before leaving.
This one I will leave with you.
The attendant picked up the photo and said, looking into the distance, "From this angle, it seems there are more than 2 bodies." Mary hurried to the window and looked down, but tripped over a wire and fell out the window. The attendant walked to the window, satisfied.
Yes, there are more than 2 bodies down there. 1, 2, 3, 4.